Hey y'all, Austin James here for Austin James Unleashed on Tour. And we are on tour here at the world famous Texas Club. A lot of great shows are coming up. Be sure to check out thetexasclub.com. And you're going to probably hear a little bit of action in the background because they're preparing for a big benefit concert. Now, proceeds will benefit the hurricane victims of Hurricane Helene and Milton. So if you can, donate wherever you can for these folks. A lot of damage. And a lot of folks have been affected by these storms. So we appreciate you doing that. And we also appreciate you liking, sharing, subscribing, because we have great episodes coming up here on Austin James Unleashed. I'm so proud to welcome this guest, an old friend of mine. Well, not an old friend, let's say a good friend. He's been around for quite some time. His name is David St. Romain.
Thank you, Austin, for having me. Appreciate you, brother.
David's a cool guy. He's been in music for a very long time, and he's from Baton Rouge, actually originally from central Louisiana.
That's right.
Not Central City, but central way up yonder.
Right,
below
right.
Shreveport, from Ellick.
That's right.
Alexandria.
I was born in Ellick, and we're not. They say Cajun below that Mason-Dixon line of Louisiana is Alexandria, but we came from a Vols Parish family, but mostly raised here in Baton Rouge. Graduated high school here in Baton Rouge. Started my military, did National Guard stint here in Louisiana.
Appreciate your service.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Did you bring your guitar on duty?
Actually, I didn't bring it. I ended up getting a guitar during AIT, and it got me some good opportunities too. I was able to get away with a whole lot.
Performing for the
performing for them and for the always the cadre when you can make the cadre happy, and we did that. Yeah, it was always an advantage. Really made opportunities for me that certain people wouldn't. Only unique people get.
So you started songwriting, say at what age?
So I started singing before I started songwriting. I knew my voice was really the gift that God had said use. And so I always kind of, lent to just being a singer. Well, then when I moved to Nashville in 1999 the first time, made my first record in 2000. And then around 2003, 2004, I started doing some songwriting and really just dabbling. Really kicked it into gear after I got on a TV show you may remember in 2007 on USA Network.
Yeah.
Nashville Star.
And
was able to get third place on that show, which was awesome. Changed my life a lot. But I was able to immediately walk into co-writing opportunities that I would not have had prior to that, and wrote with some incredible songwriters. Randy Owen from Alabama, and I wrote a song that I never released, and actually I believe it's going to come out next year on my new album.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm trying to talk Randy into coming and singing with me on that. So
tell us about your relationship with Randy Owen, the lead singer of Alabama. I mean, the man's a legend.
He is. And, I think when you get to do things like Lane has made some relationships with artists of the past, or, legendary artists too, because he's had that time on television with them. Blake Shelton was also on the show as a judge for me. And so I got to know Blake at that time, but I didn't continue a relationship. I ended up with Blake like I did with Randy. I ended up becoming close with Randy's daughter, who was our coordinator for the show. And they're just their whole family, and all the way down to I played their golf tournament every year in Alabama for about 7 years until they shut it down with Rick Hall from Muscles from Fame. I got to spend time with Rick before he passed away, and just met so many different artists that he would bring into the golf tournament. I went to St. Jude with him and celebrated the Country Cares for St. Jude.
Yep.
You were there for that
Yep.
in 2012,
Yep.
And so that was those opportunities to just have that one-on-one time with him and get to know him personally. I mean, I spent time with him, just family get-together type things. It was different. I went to, I was able to enjoy a moment at that, we'll talk about a bucket list. So we go to Myrtle Beach. We get invited to Kelly's 50th birthday party. This is his wife, and they're going to celebrate at the Bowery. And so it's basically the Nashville Star Band, who became his solo band for a little while. You may remember there was a period he put out a solo record.
Sure.
And that was right after Nashville Star. It was like 2008, 2009. And so we go to the Bowery, and we spend all night long, and it's a private party, just us. Wade Hayes was there because he was kind of part of his band for a while. And there's just so many cool, it was so freaking cool. I mean, it's us, it's all family, it's all people, and his family, and Victor, and the owner. We're standing outside, and he's looking over the field in front of the Bowery, and he's got his arm around me, and it's like, 1 a.m. We're waiting on the transportation to come in. And he goes, I played to 60,000 people right here. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm standing here with this man. I can't believe it. So it's such a bucket list and say like a fulfillment, but also I read something in Country Air Check this week. And I'm speaking to Country Air Check for your listeners and watchers is the trade magazine for radio. And I was reading something in Country Air Check this week, and Randy Owen has helped and initiated the creation of what's called Country Cares for St. Jude, which you've been a part of for 20 plus years. Well, with your efforts and the efforts of people, but because of that, they raised over $1 billion.
Saw that.
And I am blown away
Yeah.
by that. So that type of mentality, that type of heart to serve, that's what I learned the most from Randy. Sorry, long story.
No, that's
But
okay.
we're in a different moment.
No,
We got time now.
That's fine,
But David, I want to talk about your giving back to the community, because on your website it states that you're a community activist.
Community advocate.
Advocate.
That's
sorry.
okay. I would say I'm definitely an activist.
Yeah, community advocate. I can't read my own writing.
It's
I write
okay.
with my feet.
But an activist, would be I'm against something that is happening, and there are things that I'm an activist against. But I'm an advocate. I was not open on the show. They really tried to dig in on what trauma had happened to me. What drama could they bring out in that show? And boy, I did this during that show. I wanted to focus on the music, my family, because I have a brand new child who's now 18. That's how long it's been since that TV show. She was 2 months old when I left for the show.
Now 18.
Now 18. And so it was December, 2 days after Christmas. Anyway, so.
Hi, I'm Tommy with Go Roof. Some people think our commercials are silly, so here's one like all the rest. Here's Mike next to a truck. Here's Bobby on a roof. Here's Dane with a customer. Here's me with a kid. Call us today for a quality roof and a 2-year workmanship guarantee.
Roof's up.
Whose kid is this?
I knew around 2016 that I needed to do more with my life than just play music for myself. And I wanted to, I had a heart and to serve people. And I just heard this really, some of it had to do with my own help. I went and got some personal help. I would say it's a short version of recovery work that I did. And in that time period, I discovered that some stuff as a child that I had went through that caused a lot of trauma in my life from I had been sexually abused as a child, and I never knew that was going to be such an impact in my life. And so as that started happening, it was like God was punching me in the face saying, hey, serve those people. So I went into children's advocacy work and I started teaching kids about how to recognize grooming behavior. And I taught 5,000 kids in a year between the year 2017 and 18 around the region for the Baton Rouge Children's Advocacy Center. And then from there, I left there, spent 2 months in preparation, and I began what was called, what is called the Songs of Survivors, which is a nonprofit where we write songs with a specific population now, in veteran population. And we give veterans an opportunity to spill their beans or their good stuff, tell us about their military stories in a group setting with maybe 5 to 15 veterans. I share my story, then they each share their story, and then we write a unified song together. I write a hook, and I write a chorus based on what they talked about. And then I teach them how to write verses. Like, this is the intro to the song. The listener's never heard the song before. So I think of it like a DJ, right? Yeah. I'm thinking like, if a DJ's hearing a new single, he's checking out a new single. You as an MD, you had to give, you always had those promo guys going, I need a quote from you, Austin. I need a quote for you for air check. So I'm teaching them the basic fundamentals of writing, but I'm also teaching them how to express something that a lot of these guys have never talked about. And so that's where it came from, and that's where it's at. And we served 100 veterans this year already across the state. I've never made more money playing music, and it's not from the nonprofit, because I think people when they believe in you and not necessarily your music, it goes a whole lot further.
What about a USO tour?
Oh, I would be 100% for that.
Have you
I've never
participated in that? Because I mean, that would be a perfect time for you
MWR,
with your military
Yeah.
background and
what is
entertainment.
it? MVR. I forget what the Department of DoD that does the USO, and they focus on a lot of your successful acts, obviously, and that's. But I would be anytime the military, if they were to ask me to be a part of military stuff anywhere, I'm in. My brother is currently a commander here. He's the operations commander for the Guard. So we're, military family all the way through and through.
Well, we've talked about your military background and your charity work.
Yeah.
Talked about your big relationship with Randy Owen, the lead singer of Alabama, who's a hero of mine. I just love the guy.
Yeah.
I really do. He's just incredible.
He's such a great guy.
Let's talk about some new music that you have.
Yeah.
Because you came in here, you were glowing. Man, I got new music.
Right.
Here's your chance to tell us about it.
All right. So I was asked to be a guest on a TV show with Jada Cody called Catch and Cook that is being produced by Mossy Oak TV and came out October 6th, the first episode. I was the guest on that episode. When we were down in Grand Isle filming the episode, Post Malone and Morgan Wallen were in Nashville writing post-record. And all this stuff was coming across my Instagram. And I'm like, they're just sitting around with their buddies writing their songs. And I'm in this great condo with these guys down in Grand Isle looking at this beautiful water. Like, let me go, we're going to write a song today, boys. And so we wrote the theme song for their TV show. And after the show, we went to the studio, produced a song, and now I'm putting it out as a single. It's called Catch and Cook. Comes out November 1st, Friday, November 1st.
That's great,
I'm excited about it.
What about a full project?
So that is in preparation for next year. I actually, I started working on a book in January of 2023. And I know I got a lot going on. I'm sorry, but to overwhelm you folks, but
Bring it.
with all this stuff that I've been doing, I'm doing a lot more, public speaking, where I'm mixing my, telling my story, talking about the work we're doing, and then also bringing in the music and singing for them as sort of part of that presentation. And so I really wanted to have something I could leave people with more than just a record. And so a book was on the horizon. I was reconnected with an incredible New York Times bestselling author from Baton Rouge, Susan Mustafa, who wrote the Derek Todd Lee book, the Zodiac Killer book. And so Susan, who now works with me full time, you'll see her tonight. She'll be here tonight at Texas Club. She works with me full time. I hired her to write the book last year. She started working on it, and then in September, I hired her at the organization because we were just having such an incredible time working together. We got so close, and I disclosed pretty much my entire everything to her throughout that year. And so, long story short, the book comes out. It'll be finished by the end of this year. So in 2 months, I'll start my edits and shopping publisher. And whether or not we get a publisher or not will depend on how long it is before it comes out.
Yeah.
But we're going to cut a record. I've already got a producer lined up, a real producer. One of these things, I'm like, I ain't bullshitting this. I'm not half-assing in this. We're doing it for real.
Good, man.
So I'm excited. So next year, full album to come out with the book, alongside the book, to work, cohesively working alongside what the book is about. And I've got the song with Randy.
Yeah.
It's called Climbing Up That Mountain, all about achieving your goals. And that's, kind of where I'm at.
Great stuff coming from David St. Romain. David, you've always been a workaholic. Always been a good friend.
I'm a hustler, baby.
He's a hustler. This guy really, he's like a torpedo.
I know. Hey,
if someone...
grabbing.
Hey, what's that? Oh, it's David St. Romain.
ADD chicken? Like that, right?
That's about right. It's like herding cats trying to get him in. If someone wanted to reach out to you, how do they do that?
They can they can text me directly at 225-396-4166.
He just gave out his number.
225-396-4166 is
How
my
many people
texting.
do that?
My texting platform. I keep in touch with those folks directly. I have a couple hundred people that are on my text platform, and that's where you're going to hear about everything I'm doing anyway.
What about social networking?
I'm all over it. DavidSt.Romain.com, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can find me. If you Google David
How about
Romain,
MySpace?
I think it's still out there. I mean, don't they still have it?
I guess they do. I don't know. You know, MySpace.
Have you looked at your pictures from MySpace? We need to go back and look at
for
those.
MySpace. You know, I signed in, or at least I tried to sign into my MySpace account, and this warning, you know, on your computer, it came up. This is a unsafe site. And so stuff went. Ooh, not gonna do it anymore.
Yeah,
because the last time I heard of MySpace really was with Justin Timberlake. I think because he bought it or something like that. It's going to turn it into a big musician site, and then all of a sudden, it just went down.
We saw those sites don't work. Reverb Nation.
Yeah.
You know, there's a
lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's just, you know, but I think that's the development of technology. I'm interested to see where music is headed from a, you know, how are we going to give it back to the musicians and the artists and the, you know, because that's happening in some cases. It's more difficult for, you know, we're seeing the transition of all of it. You know, you're seeing how, you know, the mediums are changing and the delivery models are changing. But I do believe that all in all, there is a positive equal sign in the end. I think that if we look into blockchain technology and how our abilities to create NFTs and different things for the new models, I think it's going to be about 10 years out. But I have a pretty good. I'd love to talk to you about that later after off camera, because I believe that we will be able to create a revenue stream again and a value in the actual music itself, because the master has no value anymore.
Yeah.
You know. On it, you just got to make it happen. You got to figure out unique niche ways to do it, and that's kind of what I did with the nonprofit. You know, we write songs, so we are creating intellectual property as a nonprofit. So every song we write goes into a toy box, and then we're just going to have this pile of songs, and eventually we'll have some things to talk about.
If anyone can make it happen, this guy right here. David, thanks for talking with us.
Austin.
It's David St. Romain on Austin James Unleashed on tour. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, baby. We'll see you soon.